my chances, I don't care, I'm fine, I'm fencing brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye.
Duck, duck, go the pussy $1 bin. Guess you forgot your galana bin. You can't get loose, get your guts, got your tongue again. Rope burn on your hand, are you numb yet? I can go into the addiction. Late at night, I can deal with everything. I can make it illegal. Can get you
Stood by your side through all of the lies, watching you cry for me. Get on your knees, apologize please. No, why don't you die for me? Call me the king, ruler of things. Give me that diamond ring. Please apologize please, why don't you die? I can pain, but it ain't a case. Made a man, I can deal with everything. Every night, we can make it echo. Can give it day. That's a day. right this time, right this time around. Look what you did last night, what you did last night. Never heard a sound. Yeah, I know that you told me one day you'd show that you were right this time, you were right this time. Oh no, now the truth comes out and out that you warned me about it. Shallow, we were only ever in for a shot.
He is the hero. Nievny. Oh dear. Showing the back to Ambition. Oh no, he received a shot. Now he's a one shot. Oh dear. Oh dear. Nievny. Can he survive? It's the $1 million. Can he survive? He race. Oh my god. Oh no, he fell off. He fell off. No. Oh no. Right, good evening everyone. We are back with the previous skill tournament. We are on the second previous skill tournament, and tonight I'll be following RN versus Cats on the Asia server. Apologies for the long wait here. I was starting a little bit later than usual. That is because Wargaming informed me at quite a late time, and I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare. And so, like, there are a lot of things that might not be completed, so like particularly in the background, I'm still rendering the transition. So the stream quality can suffer for a few minutes, but that should resolve in a few minutes. So just bear with me on that, and that will be fine. For those of you who are new to this, who don't know, if you get pained and you're curious what's going on, if you want to watch my stream, and here we are following the previous skill tournaments. This is the spring season quarterly event in the World of Tanks Blitz esports, where Wargaming gives a certain amount of monetary prizes to the teams finishing in the top 8, and this is why teams are preparing for this spring season, and some of them are training every single day for this main event. So just going to brief you what previous skill tournament is all about. So all games are played the base of 3 series, and whichever team wins the first 2 matches will win the fixture. The format is a single elimination knockout stage with a match for 3rd place. That means if either Cats or RN are knocked out, they are done for tonight. The tournament is seeded by the average of the win rate of the 7 best players in a team, and that information can be found on the website, not in the game. That is the average of the win rate of all the players in the team. If it is right, I think so, it's right. A team earns a number of cups depending on where they finish. The leaderboard ranks teams in the descending order of the amount of cups, and that leaderboard I will show you from time to time. It's on my stream, and it will be updated live on stream. The top 8 would advance to the professionals tournament, while the 9th to the 16th place would advance to the challengers tournament. Not even dogs, yes. One previous skill tournament is spread out across 2 consecutive days. The first day, there are at most 32 teams in one group, 16 teams in one group, and the top 4 of each group advance to the games held on the second day. That means you need to advance to the semi-finals in that group. And in the second day, there are at most 32 teams in one group, and tonight we only have 8 teams because there are 31 teams yesterday on the Asia server. All games are played in supremacy mode, and here are the number of cups that the teams can earn tonight. And once again, the previous skill tournaments are held from the 26th of April to the 14th of May, and the challenges and professionals tournament will be held from the 19th of May to the 23rd of May. We'll start off with the quarterfinals in around 6 minutes. There is a 5-minute delay of stream delay. That is because teams are not allowed to look at what tanks the enemy team is going to take, and they are not allowed to know where the enemies are going to take in terms of map positions, because it's meant to be because of a sporting mechanism in the game. So teams aren't allowed to know live on stream where the other team's going to go. Here we are with, let's start with our end's lineup. We have the Dark Six, Hungry, Alpha, T-Bag, I'm Brett Tank, The World, Tommy, Taishan, Sagittarius, and AGJ. Sadly, our end, none of them are available tonight, so we don't have any interview with them, but that's fine because Cats, Lion and also Mummy Milkers, also known as Spartan, will be joining me in an interview after their matches. So we have Lion, Hermes, Mummy Milkers, Mentalian, which is in Vale as well, Axiomatic, Cost Effective, Temptation, Lucaria, and Jericho. And finally, Discord is loading for me, so that's brilliant. And War, I don't have enough. I think if we are in the room, I think I'll have more time to talk about what's going on with Cats. We can introduce them, but at the moment 4 minutes left, so I have to take time. Fujit will be following GB versus Feast, and I'll be following Cats versus RN's bracket all the way to the finals. And here we are. Let's open the game because I haven't opened the game to maximize the rendering. So now everything has been rendered. It should be coming up. That will be good. And I have to make sure this is been sorted, because there is a glitch on YouTube where when I started live, the YouTube thumbnail becomes pixelated. I have no idea, but I'll try to fix it during the stream so that the thumbnail is going to show up nicely. And here we are. The game is a little bit. I think the room invite. Let me get the room invite. I'm just going to get ready. We're on Winter by Novka. I'm not going to get ready in Lerva, and in 140 instead. And if we can switch to this, brilliant. And what else do I need to do? Change this. Hopefully it will change. To a better one, and here we go. Hopefully it will show up correctly. Let's see. Alright, so we have 2 minutes left to go. So so Lion once again sent me another long passage. So the nationalities, a lot of changes in the team, but then there are some people from they have Australians, Singaporeans, Koreans, Czech, Pakistani, and Vietnamese players here. And for the history of Cats, the last 2 seasons have been very competitive for them. I mean, last time they finished 4th in the winter season, and before that they really didn't play any of the big tournaments, and they had a good set on other tournaments. So some of them are a bit too busy with life, and with the current COVID restrictions, there seems to be more time for some of them to play this game. Most of them here are students, and they are around 17 to 20 years old. And the youngest guy, I think it's allowed, but I don't know, because I think the rules are not. But that's not say about that. The expectations for this season, they want to be better than the last time, so they hope to at least break into the top 4 once again. But they're just going to play. Hopefully they're going to do as good as they could. And for training, they've trained a lot more than the last season. So there are only weekends left to train. and they cannot train on the days of the tournaments due to jobs. But maybe that's a good thing because they might have more time to train. And yes, they usually do a lot of strats and or drawing board and so on. But here we are. This is Cats for you. And as for our end, following the win seasons, somewhat of a disappointment, finishing in the going into the challenges tournament, but then they actually managed to finish in the first place in the challenges tournament. So that's always a good thing to know, and I think everything is going fine, everything is working. So let's head up high and see what both teams are going to do. So both Cats and RN blue team and North Spawn, Cats, red team, South Spawn. Let's head down to Hermes for a moment. He's going to get some spots up for the team, but the rest of the RN's team are not going there exactly. They're all going to C and B. If you can see the lineup, 3 IS4s, double mouse, double T110E5. On the other hand, Cats, double Kranwagen, double mouse, double T110E5, and a Vickers Light. And that Vickers Light from Cats can be very important, and he's now capturing I'm sorry if I got your pronouns wrong. Just let me know if I got your pronouns wrong. And that's not that wasn't my intention if I got your pronouns wrong. So let me know if I got your pronouns wrong. So, but RN just going straight through. I mean, this is typical of RN. We were seeing the last few days. They are just going very aggressive. I don't know if it's going to work, but at least Cats would need to defend this. And I think the first tanks they are meeting are the mouses, and I don't think that's the game plan of RM because if you're meeting head on the mouses, the Cats team absolutely can rotate. And as you can see, Cats have already set up the guns, but Lion, however, there is little of a support from Cats. And actually, Cats, they lost Lion already. And Cats, they haven't set up their positions well, allowing Cats... Oh my god! Jericho with an ammo rack! 2,570 full health ammo rack stat! Oh my goodness me, that's oh no, I just screamed right there. How did that even happen in the first place? Oh my gosh. And Jericho wasn't happy at all, and and I think RM would be very, very gleeful about this one. The Cats just simply fell apart after that wreck. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh, what a day to start! Actually, I hope you catch that ammo rack there. Oh man, I feel so sorry for Cats. That wasn't a good one. But our end just commanding, and this was such a good commanding win from our end. Just the carrier asking Jericho to shut up, and Temptation and Cost Event are both down our end, winning this one very decisively. I thought Cats were able to shut down our end's rushing maneuver, but the problem is the mouse was so unsported. They were in the wrong positions to support Lion, and Lion was down doing 0 damage, and that is not what you want to do. If the mouse is holding, you need to do something else on the other side. Although I sometimes say you do not want to help the mouse, but in this situation, the Cats team didn't set up the positions well, and that allowed RN to farm Lion without any trouble. So they can simply do the GV and not be punished at that at all. And obviously, that ammo rack. What on earth is happening? Hello, Fartman. Hello, Kapaka. Hello, Collie Snow. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mentalium as well. So, so we're headed into the second game of Winter Mananoka with Cats. Jericho is switched out apparently. Apparently got a little bit too upset about the ammo rack, and that's hope. We don't see another almost 2 HP ammo rack here, and I think I have lots of background music, so you have to specify the timeline, and probably will reply to you after the stream. So, wow, what a start that is with that one, and And it's going to, I'm so sorry about my roommates having to listen to my scream. Just what a moment that was. It's just going with I like in the IS4 triple T125 by cost effective axiomatic and temptation Hermes and the Vickers like double crown bargain by Mummy and Lucario. RN going with the Dark Time in IS4 alongside T-Back and Taishan. Alpha in the mouse alongside the world. And I am Brett Tang and Tommy in the double team with 25. And RN is a Japanese clan, and they have been here for quite some time. I think their best result was second place last year in spring season. So far this season they are much better than before, and I think they have a change in also their play, their gameplay, their style as well. They are a lot more aggressive, just go straight into the enemy spawn and try to work from there. But I'm not sure if this recurring strategy is going to be eventually tackled upon by the I've taken a medium tank, so that shouldn't F up your spawn. I have no idea, but look at cats. Cats are trying. But let me know if you want me to take a heavy tank instead, because most of the time people want me to take in a medium tank, so it won't F up my spawn. So let me know. Look at T-Back is taking some hits though. Cats already also trading, but RM with the mouse, with the double mouse, they have more hit points than before, but cats with no mouses. So that means cats need to trade much better, but this doesn't seem to be the case with RM just going very aggressive right now. Look at Mommy Milkers now in loads of trouble. And I'm not sure, our cats need to do something. Hermes needs to come in, ignore the world and Alpha for a moment, and they need to rescue Temptation and Mummy because they're pulling back, which is a good idea. Our ends trying to push, and Brett tanks the first tank down, followed closely by Temptation. Cats are throwing what they could to salvage the situation. They're totally ignoring the mouse, which is what they should be doing right now. The focus fire is a bit weak on Cat's side. They need to get Tommy out of this game, and they did. And I think RN, they have taken out cost effective as well, but Axiomatic's the next tank down for RN, and Alpha would need to put that shot in, and he's down, and we have T-Back also down. It's now 4 versus 4. The Mouses are still really healthy, but RN, they still have the double IS4 is still alive here. The Mummy Milkers is the next tank, and it is going to be the next tank down. And Lucario is going to be the next tank down for Cats, and Hermes coming from behind, looking for the Dark 6. And Lucario, can he survive long enough? He is looking for Alpha, but they have the Tai-Chan still really healthy. Eyelion is looking for Tai-Chan. It is still really close to call out. Eyelion puts a shot into Alpha. It's going to be Alpha who is going to be the next tank down. Lucario is also down, but you still have very healthy both Mouse and also Tai-Chan is really close to call. But the DPM is, I don't know, is with Cats at the moment. But Eyelion is going to go down, and Tai-Chan still really healthy. So does the Mouse. And only 4 minutes left. I think Hermes now he wants to run away, and Eyelion. Oh, a good bounce received by Eyelion, but he needs to put a shell. He couldn't. The world kills Eyelion off, and Hermes is all about Hermes right now. Hermes is going to go for A, and it's all about the caps right now. And RN's getting C, which is going to hand RN the cap lead. But I think RN at this moment in time wants to stay together because both of them have really good armor, and B would not be challenged by Hermes at all. So that means RN would get 2 bases very quickly, and Hermes will get A very soon. The world is spotted, but I don't think Hermes has shots in there. If we continue to follow, Hermes is going back to his spawn, and the world is still there. And it's looking for the world. It's still really close to call. RN 2 caps versus Cats with only 1. Whatever happens there, it will be RM winning the match unless Hermes is able to do something from that. He has spotted up the world. He is spotted as well, but he's looking for Tai Chan as well. But I'm not sure if he has enough hit points. It's very close in terms of hit points. Oh, Hermes with a very terrible miss there. That mouse is looking for Hermes. And it's a bounce once again. The penetration is really working against Hermes right now. Oh, but Tai Chan with that kind of shot, that was not a good shot there. But Hermes once again bounced. Really, Tai Chan is working with his frontal armor, and you cannot blame Hermes for that. It's so hard to penetrate the frontal armor of the IS-4. And the world kills off that Hermes, which means it's going to be 2-0 for Cats, for our end. That was very good match from our end, and I think Cats, there was a little bit of a lack of focus fight in the middle, and good idea to ignore the bounces. But the problem really, if Cats are a lot more well connected, I think it could have been a little bit different, but we'll never know. Cats with a valiant effort in this one, they unfortunately have to bow out of the quarterfinals, and we'll interview them very shortly. And what a match it was. And here we go. So, very quickly, we have Eyelion and also Mummy Bilkers, also known as Spartan, in the chat very soon. And here we go. I know when no one spotted my scream about my ammo rack. Well, RM are through to the semi-finals already, so that's yeah, for some reason Discord is really not loading fine. There we go. So while we wait for Eyelion and also Mummy Milkers, let's look at the results of other quarterfinals matches. So here we are. We have Feast versus GV, and it's Feast turning against GV. Next we have E7 versus HLV. And E7 versus HLV will be E7 turning over HLV 2-0, and that is a result that E7 needs, because I think they are not in the top 8 if I remember correctly. Well, I mean, I can check it right on my stream. It's not. They're in the top 8. It's ID, which is very desperate of that win. So let's see about ID, and ENT. They're still playing. It's heading into tiebreaker. They have so far been underperforming, and that could be different very soon. So hello. Hello, Mummy Milkers, and hello, Lion.
Hello there.
Hello there. How are you all doing?
Oh, we're doing good.
Oh, not bad.
Great. I'm very sorry about that ammo rack in the first game, which was very.
It happened against
like
ENT
the same
yesterday.
guy got ammo racked yesterday versus ENT, so we were just having a conversation like this man has a weak ammo rack.
Yeah. T125 has a weak ammo rack. That is true,
Yeah,
but
that player in particular got ammo racked too.
yeah. I mean, that was very unfortunate. Even ammo racks are always
No, but they
always
played
very luck.
Outplayed us.
Oh, fuck.
That's-
RN, they're great now.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, what do you think about RN's performance?
So
They've improved a
that's
lot.
So in the previous seasons, Aaron, like, they always looked strong in the, leading up to the thing, but then they would not do too well. I guess like it was something to do with consistency, because when you train with them, you can tell they're a really good team. But this time they're being consistent, and I'm actually happy to see them playing well. And,
Yeah,
like,
they deserve
it was
it.
strong performance.
Yeah, and I think they also have a change in style as well. They have gone a
Oh, they're
lot
very-
more
they're-
aggressive before.
Yeah, yeah,
They're very
a
more
lot more aggressive.
Yeah, and I think a lot of clans will be working to try to counter our strategies, which
Yeah.
I think there is a common point of our strategy, but hopefully clans will be able to counter that, and hopefully RM will still be really competitive throughout the season. So, how do you think about your performance tonight then?
So,
I think-
well, you go first then. You go first.
Oh, that first game, we just... Oh, there's nothing we really could have done there. We just got, well, outplayed.
Got caught off guard, yeah.
Yeah. The second game was a lot closer, but a bit of poor communication with our E5s moving around, getting
Yeah,
bled.
so what
way too
happened in the
much.
first one was like we weren't expecting them to wrap around so quickly. We were hoping we would
Right.
get the B reset and then hold that area with the mouses, but like when they rushed our corner, like the one mouse backed up to our spawn, I backed up to the mid, and then like our guys on the slope were a little slow to move up, and I obviously
Yeah.
died so quickly I did no damage at all. So that like we weren't expecting such aggressiveness because you know RN in the past they played rather passive. Even with that lineup, I was like expecting a little bit more passive. In the second one, we were a bit more prepared. We were like, if they have the same lineup, we're gonna punch up quickly because usually we play a little bit split. We gotta watch the spawn, we gotta watch the gaps we're having. So once I saw the lineup, I called the E5s and spawn to come too. But then there was like a bit of miscommunication there. If you look, go back and look at the guy named Tentashin, we had a bit of miscommunication there. He got stuck in the middle and bled like 1,000 something hit points because one of us was coming from the front. I rammed into each other. So I think we got outplayed there for sure. But overall,
Yeah.
in this prove your skill, we're very happy with how we did because of the first stage we played. We were able to do good against ENT, against Feast. So we're overall we're pretty happy with it.
That's good to hear. So I think you talked about your expectations early on. You guys wanted to be in the top 4, and how about your expectations for this year?
Well, I think currently we go base by base, I reckon.
Right.
Starting this season, we want to be top 8. And then once we make top 8, we just want to see how far we're able to take ourselves.
Yeah, I think that would be good. That's a good
Top
idea.
4
yeah.
would be amazing.
Just a sec, I'm
But-
having
Yeah.
some connection issues.
No. Yeah, top
Yeah.
4 would be good. But obviously, if there's a better team, there's a better team, and we can't always do that.
Yeah, so the one change we've made in our lineup this season is that we're playing a lot more, I would say, calmer, because last season it was a bit more stressful for us how we were playing because we were trying to be a lot more competitive. When we were losing, it was like a bit toxic even around us. But this time we've
Yeah.
calmed it down a lot. We're actually having a lot of fun playing. So
I see. I think Jericho probably needs a little bit of comforting because
Oh, does he
yeah,
what?
he's a bit upset right now. Yeah.
he's really
Yeah.
upset. I can see he's really upset from the chat I'm
Yeah.
seeing right now. So yeah, but last but not least, what plans do you think you want to fight against, and you want to have a kind of match against, and then what clans do you think would be the most difficult for you to beat?
So I think this time, like HLV is doing really well. Last season they were
Yeah.
doing really well too, but this time they seem to be doing even better. And mainly it's just RN because like we had been following RN yesterday too, how they were like going through every team and considering how they performed in the past. RN is mainly the clan we're trying to figure out how we're gonna get around these guys because the other ones we've played, we know how they play, and RN with their new play style, it's gonna take a bit
Right.
to counter them. So those guys and HLV are mainly the ones we're focusing on, I would say.
I see. Well, I think I will not let you stay for too long. So thank you very much for the interview, and hope you guys have a good season ahead and all the best.
Yeah,
for the rest
thanks
of
for
the
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Yeah, see you,
Goodbye,
dude.
thank you. Good night.
Bye. So in the interview, it was aligned with Mommy Milkers, also known as Spartan, doing post-match interview following the loss against RN02. Poor old Jericho got ammo-wrecked in that 225. It was not something that he and both him and I are seeing that coming. He and I are seeing that coming. So tough luck to Jericho, and hello the Ginny Jean, and Z Park, and hello to Sonda. So ENT vs ID is still playing, but I don't think I have enough time for analysis. So we're just going to double check. EN versus ID. Finally, results have come through. ENT has won against ID 2-1. And that would mean ID are still not in the top 8 yet, and that can be dangerous because 2 previous skill tournaments series have passed, and this can be an alarming sign for ID, and it's going to be RN versus ENT next, and on the leaderboard. Oof. Gosh. So here we go. ID in the 10th place, currently the same position as ECG, 9,125 points. PGMT and are going to be safe for tonight in the top 8. Same in the 8th position with 9,421 points. Meanwhile, RN are now in the 2nd place, 12,382 points. ENT Feast, and also E7 occupying the 4th, 5th, and 6th positions respectively. Oh my gosh, Spartan memeing. Oh, here we go, and there we go. Before I continue, I'm just going to change something up on my stream, and I will be once again back briefing you in detail what is going to be expected tonight. So next we have RN versus ENC in the quarterfinals, and it will be another interesting game. It is going to be. So let me see the semi-finals. And make sure if you haven't already, tell your friends and relatives to join the stream, watch the stream, watch the exciting matches. And if you are suffering from terrible RNG, or if you get terrible teams, come to the stream. Stop playing. Come to the stream. Watch the best teams play against one another, and that will probably heal your tilt. So don't play the random matches if you are suffering from terrible matchmaking. Watch the stream and enjoy. Both teams going to. RN is going to give us some really exciting matches tonight. So RN versus ENT. It's next. No, well, what they didn't bully. I don't know if they bullied you. I need some comforting. Oh, poor lad. Hello, Sana. I hope you're feeling better as well. Oh gosh, yeah. But meanwhile, let's go Breeze. What's going on tonight? Our N versus Cats. It has finished, giving our N the victory tonight. And here is the previous skill tournament format. If you don't know what you're watching, it's totally fine because welcome to the world of Tanks Blitz esports, where the most exciting games happen here. And no, the random matches are not as exciting as tournaments, that I can safely guarantee. So if you are bored from playing random matches, watch this stream, watch The best players playing against one another, and the reason why teams are playing in this tournament is because Wargaming has kindly offered $6,700 of monetary prize for the top 8 for this season. And previous skill tournament is first of the 2 stages in the season. So the previous skill tournament format, all games are played in the best of 3 series. That is whichever team wins the first 2 matches will win the fixture. The format is a single elimination knockout stage with a match for the 3rd place, and the tournament is seeded by the average of the win rate of the 7 best players in the team. And a team earns a number of cups depending on where they finish, and leaderboard ranks the teams in the descending order of cups, and the top 8 would advance to the challenge, the professionals tournament, and the 9th to the 16th place to the challenges tournament. We are on the 2nd day. At the moment, we have whittled down to 4 teams, and all games played in supremacy mode. And here are the number of cups that teams can earn. And from the 26th of April to 14th of May, it will be the previous skill tournaments, and then professionals and challenges will be held from the 19th to the 23rd of May in a double elimination format. And we will begin the semi-finals in around 6 minutes. Do note that there is a 6-minute delay because the teams are not allowed to know what the enemy team is going to take for the tanks and the positions. RN's roster is as follows. We have the Dark Six as the captain of the team: Alpha, Hungry Monster, Teabag, Iron Red Tank, The World, Tommy, Taishin, Sagittarius, and DJ. And RN is a Japanese clan, and they have been here for a while. The best result was the 2nd place in the last year's spring season. And I hope this season they are very strong. They might go even further than that. Will they take home the spring season champion, the professionals tournament champion? We will know in the middle of May. And currently, Fujit is going to be streaming Feast vs E7. I'll be following Cats vs ENC in the finals. We shall meet together, and voila! Here we go. And I think the room is up very soon. The vote. The Connex T is here. Hello there. And let's head into the room then. Roy is jealous of my Vindicator. Well. I'm just going to watch any messages some elsewhere. Here we are. RN and ENT are gradually trickling in. We are once again on Winter Novka and Wargaming's fantastic map RNG draw, and I don't know why. We are back in Winter Novka RN. I'm not sure if ENT are watching this stream, because if they do, they probably will figure out what to do. They have like 5 minutes to prepare, so absolutely they can briefly skim through my stream, and I mean it's quite I wouldn't say obvious, but it's quite clear what RN's going to do most of the time. But RN can totally surprise us with a totally different strategy. So we will never know. So ENT, obviously they have an idea what RN is capable of. So they're taking double balances by Roses Are Rosy and rename user, which was renamed forcefully by Wargaming due to a very problematic IGN. Let's not talk about that. You can catch that name in Fujit's first stream, and it was very problematic. It is. And we also have Clutch. I think he is Juicy, so he is the captain team. And we have Canwars Devil. I think Canwars was in RN, if I remember correctly. And ENT is an international clan, so we also have Striker in the Vickers Life Fat Batman, T110D5, Double Mouse. We have announced it already. And RN we have Tommy on the mouse once again alongside. No, not Alpha, but Alpha in the Sheridan probably. The Dark Time in the IS4. The World is not going to play, so Hungry Monster and I'm Red Tech, double team with 1085 T-Back, and Tai Chan, double Ice Fall. So once again, Wintermire Northcote is kind of a heavy map, but it's also a very large map. So you are going to be seeing a combination of medium and light tanks, alongside with relatively heavily armored heavies, not hull down heavies there, because there is not a lot of terrain to work with apart from the corner in the northeastern corner where the sea cap is residing. So you won't be expecting a lot of hull down heavies, but a lot of the heavily armored tanks which work well on flat ground. So there we are seeing some Mouses and Iris Force for both teams, 2 each, apart from our triple Iris Force. And with Aaron's lineup here, the DPM can be a problem, and not taking medium tank can be also a problem as well. Basically, they do not have anyone to spot for them, so if they want to push, they are kind of doing it with a bit of gamble here. And we almost saw it almost backfired for RM when they try to push Cats in the first game, where they meet head on the Mouses, only for them to win because I-line was not well supported from Cat's positioning. It was quite questionable. And let's not talk about Jericho's Amarak, which was very unfortunate, and it was kind of RNG, very terrible RNG for him. But again, see, with striking the Vicus Light can be very important. The Vicus Light can spot the tanks and also play with some of the caps. And also, Iron with the lack of mobility can be an issue here. And if the ENT decides to play with caps, then it can be a hassle for RN to rotate very slowly. And this is not enclosed map, so if you get spotted in some of the lanes, voila, you get heavily focused, and RN would not want to be in that situation at all. And the ENT would want to set up this situation so that RN would be made to pay for their lineup. Jericho's a nerd. No worries, Spartan. Thank you very much for the donation in Australian dollars. I'm going to be seeing RN once again on the south spawn. Let's follow Striker for a moment. He's going to get some spots up. Some packet loss here. I have no idea why, but the packet loss is quite bad. Well, let's hope the stream is not going to suffer as a result. And he's going to get A because he hasn't spotted anyone, which will hand the ENT the cap lead potentially. And the ENT just readying near the spawn. B. With Roses and Rosie looking closely at B. RN would not be able to get a cap lead though, but RN just going straight past. No, they're going to get C here. And the ENT are just defending very passively. But the Mouses are a little bit farther back, which can be a problem if RN decides to go and kill those IS-4s. The Mouses would take quite some time to rotate, so that could be a problem with RN ENT's defensive lineup. But RN not going to make a move just yet. Oh, Tommy receives a big hit in the mouse. Oh, good shot from Roses and Rosie though, and Alpha also took a hit there. Striker, I think he didn't shoot, so that was a good start for ENT, and they are now leading by more than 1,000 hit points. And in terms of caps, it's just only 1 kill away. So RN, either they want to go for A, but I mean they won't because most of the tanks are near C, so they can't do that. And RN are trying to make a push, but ENT is simply waiting for that to happen. And it's all on ENT to now make the respawn to support those IS-4s. I think we are seeing this coming. The IS-4s are isolated, but the focus fire from ENT are not cutting the cheese. And Cat was just looking for hungry monsters, and the packet loss is a little bit terrible. And Cat was the first tank down, but the hungry monster is going to be the next tank down. Hungry monster is killed by Clutch, and T-Back is going to be the next tank for the focus for ENT. Oh, but what a big ram that was from Rename using the T-Bag tracked him, and now T-Bag's now down to a one shot. The hit points still neck and neck, however. ENT for the first time down in hit points with T-Bag now down. Clutch is looking for other tanks, but look at the packet loss, it's just horrible. With Clutch taking some hits here, and I'm not sure if I got pinged out, but the packet loss is really horrible here. And the Clutch is now dead. I'm really sorry about this packet loss issue, but the tanks are flying around. The Fat Batman apparently is the focus for RN, and the hit points are still with RN, and that is still really close to call. It's 4 versus 4. And the packet loss isn't really helpful at all. But I don't know if I would need to restart my game. Oh, and now the packet loss is reduced. That's probably because I was opening the Discord on my iPad following the chat and on the official Wargaming server. So that could be the reason why the packet loss is so horrible. But anyway, the double bounce is still alive for ENT, and Rename user makes a very bad bounce there. And don't worry, the packet loss issue is now fixed. Seems my Wi-Fi is not able to cope with the Discord updates. So roses are rosy and now very low. And the caps are now taking in favor of ENT, so ENT needs to survive. Rename user making use of his hit points. Striker is looking for the Dark Six. Well, let's head down to the Striker for a moment here. Dark Six looking for Striker, obviously. And the Rename user has killed the Dark Six. That was a good coordination there. But Rename user is also down, though. This is the really close call. Roses are rosy is going to be the man here trying to stay alive, but he's dead as well. But that means RN have 2 tanks still alive with Striker. Now the last man standing, and RN just need to stay alive. I'm not sure about Tommy's looking for Striker. He is a one shot here, unless RN is unlucky with their shots. Well, I mean, you don't need to use heat or APCR in this situation. It's a one-shot, theoretically. And Strike with a bounce, and Taicha also with a bounce. Well, that could be very important for ENT, but Tommy is there to kill off Striker, handing RN the first win. It is. Wow. Well, that was very close, and I'm very surprised that it was RN coming on top. ENT was... I think they know, they're very prepared for that. They know what to do. But they seem to suffer from the lack of focus fire once again. And Mousers have done absolutely fantastically. But the Ice Force, as I said on the stream, seems to be the weak point. And RN, they were hesitating a bit. But eventually, I think their focus fire was what won them the game in the end. And here we are, going with RN versus ENT. RN back with triple Ice Force, double E5, double mouse, ENT, double mouse, 140 instead. Fat Batman, the T110E5, a double Ice Force by Camels and Devil Clutch, the T110E5 as well. And RN Dark Time and Titan double Ice for double T110E5 Hungry and Iron Bread Tank. T-Bag taking the biggest light, that would give RN a lot more in terms of the information. And RN simply was gambling in the last game, but it worked in the end because ENT really, that focus fire wasn't the most brilliant I have seen so far. Double mouse by Tommy and Alpha. So I think ENT would want to improve on that, and I think they have the right strats to counter RN, but RN was simply better with focus fire and shots effectiveness here. So RN, they look very strong at the moment. 1-0 so far it is. Oh, let me change. And here we are in, well, that was very quick countdown. So Object 140, we are here now. Double IS4, double mouse, double T110. Oh, I've announced the lineup, so why am I doing it once again? But Object 140 is going to be an interesting choice here. We don't see that taken often. It has good mobility, but that could be an illusion because it isn't much better than T62 actually. But I think it's better than T22 for some for amount. And 140 also is very low in profile, but a map like Winter Minorca with not a lot of terrain, that could be a problem for Object 140. Not spotting anything on A, he's now going for A, but C is going to be captured by T-Back first, which means RM will get the cap lead. This time round, I'm not sure ENT is just playing this passively, but this time it's going to be ENT that needs to make a move because they don't have the cap lead. They have a slight hit input advantage, though. Good shot into Alpha from Striker, and ENT are leading in hit points, but not in caps. So once again, they need to find where the weak spot of RN is, and they need they would either want to go for B or C or kill a tank. And usually it's the latter because RN, they just need to defend, and if you want to defend, all the focus will be on the caps. And they don't need to defend C because all of the tanks are there. They just need to look at B, and you cannot capture B because B is very hard to get out of once you got it. And we have seen numerous times that the tank going out of B gets taken out very quickly, and you're suddenly down to 6.7, and that's obviously not a good thing to do, not a good thing to be in, good situation to be in. That means you need, that means you're pretty much on the back foot in the effective DPM and also hit points. I think it is on my side. The packet losses because I was opening the Discord's Discord chat, and then it was so bad that I have to close it. But it should be fine right now. With Roses Are Rosy, the packet loss is back, I think. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to close the app. Suddenly it was a much better. So if I don't open Discord at the same time, it won't stress my internet that much. So here we are. Rename user is going to get the spotted. Oh, Tommy in that mouse gets shut down once again, and that would hand ENT the cap, the hit point put advantage they really need. But RN, they just need to defend. I'm not sure if they want to go aggressive because they might have an idea here. They're trying to rush these IS-4s to the T125, and that RM might be having a good idea here. ENT is still really spread out though, and I don't know, this can be a good movement for RN. RN looking for Devil as the bounce twice here, and 3 times. That is not good. It's now 5 for the stream with ENT. They really need to take out the mouse quickly enough, and Fat Batman's going to get it, but I think the mouses would need to rotate. ENT might be in trouble. ENT might be in trouble, but they're leading by lots of hit points. The Fat Taishan receiving the bounce. Dark 6 the first tank down. Second tank down for RN. Clutch is down. I don't know. There was a demo right there. But ENT are leading in caps with RN struggling to make use of that move. It almost worked, but I think there were too many bounces there with the mouse to hold long enough because they took too many hit points at the start. With Alpha now dead, it's now going to be 4 versus 6. It's still ENT's to lose because ENT now 970. They lost Can Wars back to 935, and they are looking for Hungry Monster. That kill would be enough to win the game for ENT, and this is going to be the case. They will end them kills of Hungry Monster, handing ENT the win. And with that surprise move didn't work out for them, but I think that was a crazy idea for RN. Tommy 0 damage, but the problem for RN, they were a little bit clueless in defending, and Mouses are caught out in the open, and they took quite a lot of hits while doing so, and that means you can't focus the mouse because the mouse there is just less than 2,000 hit points. So, and 2 tanks onto one not healthy mouse, and that always means it's going to be it's not going to stay alive for long. And we are now 1-1 on Vineyards, and it is a much more mobile map. We were seeing Aaron doing really good with a lot of armor and also aggression. Vineyards is not the one because unlike Wintermine and Northcote, Vineyards has a lot more terrain to work with, and this map you will be seeing a lot more hold down tanks and also mediums and lights. And this is exactly what ENT is doing. They're taking no IS-4s and Mauser. They're taking double T125, double Crown Bargain, double TBP, and an Object 140 once again. Very light setup, but could work brilliantly for them because the heavy tanks they're taking there are all hold down tanks. And Aaron is doing similar things as well. They're only taking one IS-4 this time. I'm Brattag in a 215B, good DPM. Can be a tough tank to work with because of the long hull, but it has good turret armor as well. We will see how Aaron is going to work with that, but they are taking a T22 and a Vickers Light as well. Hello Smick, how are you doing? And here we are. Alpha in the T20. I'm going to say RN versus ENT. Tiebreaker, Vineyards, always exciting to watch, and we are going in very soon. Okay, so RN is on the north side with ENT on the south side. Red team for RN, ENT blue team. So ENT heading mostly to the northwestern corner, and I think the T20 is going to get B rename users there, and here we are. Alpha is going to get some important spots, but he got the double T125 spotted. The RN, they're probably playing it defensively. And ENT are setting up their positions. TVPs are playing on flat ground. I'm not sure if it's a good terrain for TVP to work with. I haven't got TVP just yet. I mean, I have it ready to buy, but I haven't got enough credits. I mean, Wargaming needs to fix their credit system. Dark 6 is crossing. Get shot once. Rename user is running away. Doesn't want to get shot because potentially RN might have shots onto that T22. Look at RN is bleeding a little bit trying to cross. And the Crown Bargains are pulling back because this is what RN is going to go for, and that can be very crucial. Dark 6 looking for B for capture of B. Like, we can look at RN here. Oh, Dark 6 is trying to get B, but I don't think it's going to be successful. He has taken almost half of his HP already. Devil Anthem. RN is piling pressure onto these double Crown Bargains, and I think ENT needs to make a push on the other side and making a push onto that T125s, and I think we should head over to that for now. Rename user. The focus is on Hungry Monster at the moment, and let's head down to Clutch. On the other hand, we can take a look at that very quickly. The TVPs are getting rushed by the T22 and the Vickers Light, and the Clutch is looking for Hungry Monster, and Rename user is going for that very, very quickly. Hungry Monster is going to go down, Kangaroo's down, Batman is down, and Hungry Monster is going to go down very soon, but it's taking really long for Yanti to kill those T125s, but they still have the hit point advantage. But on the other side, Alpha is looking for downfall Anthem, so it's pretty much even Stevens. ENT is losing the northwestern corner, and Tommy's dead, and then Anthem is dead, and Striker in that T125 needs to hold is 5 versus 4, but there are 3 one-shots for E7 bar the Dark 6 in the IS-4 2-shot, but now Striker is now very isolated. The medium tanks from ENT, they really need to find out where the RN tanks are. I don't think they could afford to capture C, because that would initiate a response from RN to rush Striker. And I think they are looking for the Dark Six. The Dark Six is looking for those TVPs. Roses and Rosie's looking for Dark Six. He needs one more shell to kill off the Dark Six, and it's going to be really easy killing off the Dark Six. Roses and Rosie. In that come on. In that TVP, he's looking for Iron Brat Tank. And Striker is also getting rushed by Aaron. This is still really close to come out. Striker is now dead. And the Roses and Rosie, 3 shots in this clip. Puts 1 shell into the Red Tank. That reactive armor definitely helped matters, but really needs to kill off the Iron Red Tank. Alpha is going to be next tank down, but T-Back, Clutch is still struggling to hold off this 2 really healthy tanks of Aaron's side. But no, he receives a shot from T-Back. And receives a shell from the Tai Chan, but I think he will go down to T-Back. Clutch, he needs to clutch that shell. He couldn't. And it's going to be 3 versus 2 here. Roses and Rosie. It's now 1 shot. Alpha can finish him. If he dares to peek out once again, the rename user is killed by T-Bag. 1 versus 1. It's going to be RN in the finals. Really huge commiserations for both for ENT. Played this one really well, but RN just simply responded better. Was a lot more quick because they are rushing onto the double crown Vargans. Meanwhile, ENT are forced to rush against triple T175s, and when you drop the reactive armor, you are going to absorb a lot of damage, and ENT has to spend a lot of time trying to get to kill those T175s, and RN in this situation unable to clear out the other side more quickly, getting B as well, and win the game for them. And commiserations to ENT, and RN are through to the finals. 2-1 for RN. Hello, Capso. And on the other hand, Feast versus E7. Okay, Feast are in the finals. They have won E7 2-0. And it's going to be Feast versus RN in the finals. Oh my gosh. It's going to be really exciting. It is, I can assure you. We only have 12 minutes left to go. I don't know what's going to happen next. E7 versus ENT in the 3rd place match. And all I could say is good luck to ENT, because I think they play fine. The focus fire might be the thing they need to work on more in the next few for the rest of the season. But I think they can do something. They can grind out the results against E7. And let's look at the table for tonight. So far, Feast and RN are now in the finals, and that means Feast and RN will get more cups, and RN will be taking home the 1st place, at least for tonight, with 30,012 cups. Feast in the 3rd place, 12,126 cups, and if Feast won the match tonight, they will not overtake RN, and will they overtake HLV? They will overtake HLV into the 2nd place, but they will not overtake RN. So RN for tonight will be finishing in the 1st place. The rest of the table, we have ID and DTG tied with 9,125 cups, and QE7 tied with DTG 8,769 cups, and TVP, EA, and SQ wrapping up the top 16 with 8,198 cups. And below that, we have a lot of clans: Cam1, DTG, TB, BB, UI, Kane, so on and so forth. And 3rd Pro Skill tournaments will be very important for these clans, trailing in under top 8. Totally 40 viewers, that's brilliant. We only have 10 minutes left, so no time for analysis sadly. So here we are. Let's look at once again Pro Skill tournament format. If you just joined this stream and you have no idea what's going on. The teams are fighting for the monetary price pool of $6,700 and if that team is able to get into top 8, they will get some of the money from wargaming, and more money is good. It's always a good thing to get. So the teams have been training every single day for this season, and there are 4 seasons this year, and this is the 2nd season, and summer season will be in July, and maybe running into August, and we have autumn season potentially in late September, and this is not insider information. This can be found officially in the public on the official wargaming server. So, I'm not making this up. So here we are. We have just pause the stream if you want to read what is previous Q tournaments. This should explain pretty well. And tonight, RN has already earned 1,597 cups, and they can earn as many as 2,011 cups if they beat Feast tonight. And the timeline is as follows. And the finals will start in 9 minutes, and here is the lineup for RN. And RN's Japanese clan, their best result was the 2nd place in the spring season last year, so hopefully they will be able to get the 1st place. They're looking really strong so far this season. And for both Fujin and I will be going into the finals, and I think maybe I can do something about this automatically in real time. I don't know, but we'll see. Hello Jaden. Hello GGRN. I agree with you. Pisces. Hello Helmi. How are you doing? Great. Hopefully you all have a good time. And there we go. So, 7 minutes left to go, so we'll wait for the room to open. So while we wait as well, we still have something to brief once again, and it is going to be actually, let me tell you about the NA server, because I will be streaming NA in the previous Q tournament, so I think it's good to give them some giving some recognition, something like that. I don't know, but this is the NA bracket for tonight. For later tonight, the round of 16, we have MM versus SVG, EC versus Cursed, Apex versus Purple, Rain versus Zero G or Zero Gravity, Rifle versus Surge, GG versus JKR. It's a mismatch, I think. Pincer versus Void, and PPS against Primal. PPS, also previously known as PPSUC, got renamed because, you know, that was a problematic clan tag, and for some reason, but for good reason, I think it's against the game rules, the clan rules. So this is the NA server for you. How about the EU server? EU server is going to be as follows. I'll be following Reti versus Veil, and after that, the winner of that will be against APA. So I can safely assure you there are really good games coming up here, and all the way to the finals potentially. And yes, I can't wait, and I think the room is out very soon, and we'll jump into that. So it's going to be RN versus Feast. Fujit streaming this match as well, and we are on Blackoville. It's a very open map, so expect a lot of mediums and lights, and hold down tanks and but then because it's such an open and somewhat of a big map, slow heavies are not welcome, or are not taken frequently by teams, because when it comes to rotation, that tank could be a burden. So that means if you look at the lineup here, so far no one's taking their mouse apart from the world, and because it's such an open map, Clippers can be a good thing to take, because when you need to rotate, there's a higher chance the enemy team will be isolated, and the Clippers, if you're taking it in packs, you can use the entire clip to kill that isolated tank. And if you can focus fire well, and that could be a big issue. So Feast are doing that exactly with double 50Bs potentially by Bifrost and Sugar and Mugu, Sleeping Lion in the Kramwagen and a Winter Fox in the IS-4, a double T125 by Hidden Surprise, James, and Silver in the Vickers Light. Always Silver in the Vickers Light. And RN with T-Back in the Vickers Light, T22 by Alpha, a double T125 by Hungary, and Red Tank, and triple T IS-4 by Tommy and the Dark Time and Tai Chen. Yes, hi, Uncle. Hi, Pisces. And yes, this is going to be exciting. On the subs bench, we have the World on the subs bench, Roadblock and Z-Park on Feast's sub bench. With Fox playing, so that's good. Always a good thing to see. Let me have a biscuit. Just kidding. Right, while we're waiting, I will be updating the overlays for this. And the overlay is updated. So one more minute to go. Black go to blue, red team RN north spawn, Feast blue team south spawn, and that's hopefully get more views on the way. And if you haven't already, tell your friends and relatives to watch the stream, and the more the merrier, and always a good thing to have a lot of people watching and supporting both teams. You know, our NFTs, they are going to give us some exciting matches. And only 30 seconds left to go on the clock. Feast, they are now in the post-Macdox era. I think it, for some reason, for the first time I saw it's era, but I think it was era. I don't know. Like the pronunciation of that changes from time to time, but I would call it era. But it has proven that without Maddox, Feast is still a really strong team in our end. They have been revigorated with a new style of play, with their aggression. And that kind of reminds me of the ARWV server, and it worked for them brilliantly. And despite attempts for teams to defend, they haven't been able to cope with the level of focus fire that RN is displaying. Yep, Rain is back. It is the case, Rain is back. So the North sport is going to be RN. I've announced it already, so Feast will be getting some tanks here. And now F Silver is going to get C, I think. And I think T-Back is not going to spot anything potentially. Let's and the double 50Bs are doing spawn baiting. I think F Silver is not going for C, so he's going to spot tanks going for C, and they're spotted nothing, so F Silver is going to get into C very soon. And meanwhile, we have Alpha in the T22. Hidden Surprise tries to reset but couldn't, and Alpha may be able to get A without getting reset. No, Hidden Surprise isn't able to connect, and it's going to be RN. I don't know, it's too close to call. The caps are ticking. I don't know, in favor of RN by a little bit. I can't tell, can you tell? No, I can't really tell. I think RN is leading by just a millisecond. So that means both teams will need to rotate. And it's just only a slight cap stop would mean that the other team would get a cap lead. So the Sleeping Lion Hong Kong receives a hit. So both teams are trying to chip away the hit points of others. So RN are trying to find isolated tanks with Alpha. I mean, look at him. Getting some spots up, but it is actually Feast dropping a lot of hit points there. And RN already pressuring. They are very split though, but they seem to find the weakness in Feast's strategy. Look at that. Taichin is going through, but Sleeping Lion Hong Kong is the tank getting ignored at the moment. James Bond is now running away. But no, I think now it's going to be Tommy trying to defend against 3 tanks right here. Feast now. The focus is on Tommy right now, and T-Back is running around in running around, but James Bond is going to go down really soon, and I think it's going to be Aura with the hit point pooling right now. Bond James was now dead. Sleeping Lion Hong Kong's at 1 shot, and if he's down as well, Tommy's dead already. So time is ticking. Aura needs to get the tanks out as soon as possible. Hit points are neck to neck. 2 caps are obtained by Feast, so it's time for RN. They need the caps. They need to kill the tanks, and it's still in favor of RN in terms of cap points. On the other hand, let's look at the Dark Sex. It's looking for Winter Fox. But Shugen Mugu is punishing the tanks crossing there, and I think those Ice Force are very angry. Hidden Surprise, they want to kill him as soon as possible here. Hidden Surprise, it's now 1 shot. He needs to be dealt with as soon as possible. RN still only has 1 cap compared to 2 for Feast, and if Feast does not kill, Feast, they need to kill off Hungry Monster. He's now a 2-shot potentially, and Winterfall with that bounce though, it's not good indeed, but that ram would mean Hungry Monster is now a 1-shot. I can't get the helicopter down. Hungry Monster is now dead, meaning our end still only has 1 cap, but they have 5 tanks. They have the gun advantage. Shugemug is now dead. It's 5 versus 2, and Ibrector is going to pinch the tanks, but time is ticking for our end. They still have only 1 cap, but only 1 tank left remaining with Winter Fox. Oh, that turret! Oh my gosh! Winter Fox would not be happy about that. And it's going to be RN with the first win. Wonderful performance by RN, was in total control. I think getting A gave them the terrain advantage actually, and yes, Feast have responded immediately to shut down Tommy, but RN was the one initiating the move at the start. So RN has the control, not really Feast, but Feast at one point was really close, really close, and it was really RN with their focus fire and their formation, and that is what won the game here. And that was such a phenomenal performance by RN. 5 tanks doing more than 2k, while Feast only has 3. It's going to be 1-0 for RN, and if it continues like that, I can safely say that RN would be looking to win the previous skill tournament 2 tonight. Let's look at the results of E7 versus ENT. It's still going on because ENT against RN, that match happened for a long time. So RN are changing up a little bit, probably going with triple IS4s. By that time, Tommy and Tai Chan double T125 by Hungry and Iron Red Tank. A T-Back in the Vickers Light and Alpha in the T22 with Feast going with Bifrost T125 alongside Bond, James Bond, Winter Fox and Hidden Surprise, double IS4, F Silver in the Vickers Light, and Bond, Sleeping Lion in Krabvag and Shikibuku T22. What an exciting match that was. Yeah, back in Black Goville, still really close to call, both teams really closely matched, but RN really dominating the Asia server so far. And the names aren't showing up, which is always a good thing to see. But now they are showing up, so we don't need to wait for a really long time for the game for loading into the game. And it's going to be 33. A lot of packet loss here. No idea why I have closed my Discord. Well, let me double check my Discord. Hopefully that will lower the packet loss, but the packet loss is just a little bit too unbearable. Definitely, I haven't opened my Discord this time, so someone else might be using my Wi-Fi. Feast, with that F Silver getting spot up Tommy, and Feast are approaching this a little bit more passive. It's RN approaching this a lot more passive potentially this time, and the packet loss is a little bit high, and you can see tanks going into the debt. But now Feast, it's 3 versus 3 right now here. Let's go down to Bifrost potentially. No, actually I would go for Tai Chan. He's the one be the aggressor. Hope the packet loss is going to go away very soon. And it's not going away anytime soon. Bifrost in the first tank. But they are rushing against 2 T125s and it's 4 versus 4. I'm not sure if it's going to work here, but I mean we can sit here for a moment. Bifrost is the first tank down, and our N are getting the focus fire, and the Hidden Surprise might be the next tank down here. And on the other hand, Tommy's coming in. Our N are putting all of their forces here. Capturing A would not be the best idea because our N want those 7 kills. They want to kill all of the tanks they are seeing right now. Alpha is now dead. T-Back is looking for Bond James potentially, but Hidden Surprise now dead as well. Brett Tank is now dead. Darkseid is now dead. Hit points is neck and neck here. 4 versus 4 it is. No idea what's going to happen, but look at the lineup here. Feast still has 2 re-mobile tanks, but RN only has 3 very heavy tanks. And that could be a problem for RN, because the mobility can be the difference right here, especially when both teams have really close hit points. In fact, and Tommy is really low now. I have no idea what's going to happen, but apparently one tank is taken out by RN, and this is still really close to call. Mugu is the next tank for RN to get. And look at how both these 2 tanks are working in unison, trying to get Shugu and Mugu out of the game right here. And really, the packet loss is so horrible. And with Shugu and Mugu now dead, and Sleeping Lion Hong Kong, oh, that was a terrible miss from Hungry Monster. And Sleeping Lion Hong Kong on fire, but he has full clip in his. He has full clip now. He can unleash his full clip into Hungry Monster. Hungry Monster might be no more. Tai Chan's trying to shield Hungry Monster, and the packet loss still absolutely atrocious. And Hungry Monster going to go down. He is down by F Silver, and Tai Chan is going to be the last man standing. And Sleeping Lion Hong Kong still waiting for the second shell to load, and it's going to be Feast winning the second game. It is, and good shooting by F Silver. Look at that. Look at that shooting from F Silver. And good shot from Tai Chan to F Silver now. I'm not sure if it's a universal ping issue, but my stream is so bad with that packet loss. And it's going to be Feast making a comeback 1-1. Both teams playing it really nicely. I think our end that was a bit too audacious, and Feast was able to use the double T125 as a reactive armor and buy time for Feast to relocate. Our end made an immediate response following that push, but I think it wasn't enough for them. And it was really down to whoever has better focus fire and shot effectiveness, and Feast this time are on top of this. Tiebreaker is now on Alpenstadt. No smasher for you, SP. The reason why our end is a flop last season is because they weren't really training for winter season, because that was announced. They were taken by surprise. It was announced like a few days prior. And this time, spring season, it was known beforehand a couple of weeks ago. So at least RN and Feast, all of clans this time are training for the spring season. Feast are going with triple T110E5 instead. Vickers Light played by Silver, Hidden Surprise in the Mouse, Shigemugu VK, Sneaking Line Hong Kong and IS4, RN, double IS4, double T110E5, double Mouse, and T-Back in the Vickers Light. Let's hope that connection is going to get better this time. The packet loss issue is still really horrible for some reason. Cloudy Snow saying we aren't walking. Why am I saying slay? I mean, RN is slaying at the moment, so that's always a good thing. If you can slay, that is going to be really good. And here we are, Sleeping Blind Hong Kong and the IS4. I have no idea why I'm talking about that. RN, North spawn, blue team, Feast, red team, south spawn. Tiebreaker, who is going to take home the second previous skill tournament? Suddenly, Feast sprang back to life. So Feast are going mostly to A, meanwhile RN is going mostly to C, and always the North spawn has an advantage with caps, and RN is making use of that, getting hold of C very quickly. The packet loss issue is better this time, and Feast are only able to get A thereafter, but it isn't going to, I mean, it's not always a bad thing if you are down by cap points by a tiny wee bit within one tank of killing. And this is the case because RN are just only leading by around 40 cap points, and Feast, they just need one kill to swing it back to their favor, and RN is the one that needs to defend, and B will be the cap that they want to defend. C is like within their reach, so all eyes will be on B in here. And Feast, I do not think that they would want to go for B because this is where RN is going to put all of their guns on, and Feast, they will really want to rely on F Silver. Let's follow him for a brief moment, get the information up, and Feast will be working out where to rush. And because both teams only have one cap, the cap increase speed is not going to be quick. F Silver tried to put a shot into Dark Six, he spotted, however. Will Dark Six put a shot into F Silver? I don't think so. It's a miss, obviously. And F Silver is trying to put another shell into Dark Six, but I don't think it will be successful. The Dark Six is now going back. Feast has chipped away a little bit of the hit points of RN, which is boding them well for now in the rotation. And I think Feast would know that RN might be looking at their spawn, so at Feast spawn. So will Feast try to rotate from Feast spawn. Look at RN. With those guns, on to Feast spawn. So Feast, I'm not sure if they are looking to rotate somewhere else. It seems they are rotating back to their spawn. And it's now taking into 600 point territory mark. And it's going to be really, really tense very, very soon. RN is totally prepared for that. RN, Tommy spotted. And he's asking for help. Sleeping Lion Hong Kong in that spot. I think he is looking at Tommy. So he can't do anything for that. And B. Look at hidden surprise going for B. But if that's the case, that would mean RN would divert their attention to B instead, meaning the other side Feast can push through. Is that the case here? We're seeing, I think that could be the case. So let's head down to James spawn for a moment and see if they can catch RN off guard. RN's now down by more than 1k. B is now going to be captured by Feast potentially, but look at James spawn dropping the reactive armor. This is going to descend into pandemonium very quickly. RN has to make a counter push. Now, I think they might be ignoring B for now, but they've put the shots on the wrong tank. Shugemuguk actually got B for Feast, and James is trying to get out of this, but he's still on a reactive armor, and this is still really close to go. Tai-Chan made the first tank down. James is on the fire, and that means James is now dead. Tai-Chan's now going to go down really quickly. A Bifrost dropping the reactive armor. That could be a good thing because Bifrost can absorb quite some hit points here. And RN, they don't have B, they only have 1 cap compared to Feast with 2. RN needs to be really quick with that, with killing off tanks here. But Feast are dropping hit points left, right, and center. C Park is going to be the next tank down. But B is still not getting captured though. RN needs to kill off the tanks. Alpha is now dead. With C Park now dead at RN, they need B. They desperately need B. Feast now 905 cap points. If they lose the Dark 6, this is going to be very, very tricky for Feast. For RN, I mean. And now 985, 990, 995, and it's going to go to Feast. This game, it is for... Oh my goodness me, that was so tense. Oh man. Yeah, it was some terrible lag. I apologize, but what a game that was. Feast. Getting B is really, really important here, but it's not like they are committing everyone to B. They have a flag with Born James Bond right there, but that kind of failed actually with Feast kind of pushing the lineup, guarding, defending B. That was so important. RN seems to forget about B, and since both teams are training very equally, that capture will be made all the difference right here. So what a game that was for both RN and Feast. So congratulations to Feast. It is going to be Feast taking home that victory. And let's look at the results of E7 versus ENT. It's going to be E7 losing to ENT 0-2. So, final standings for tonight. RN will be settling for the second place once again. But Feast, with the first time getting the previous skill tournament, we will be getting the first time the champion of the previous skill tournament of one series. So, well done to Feast, and commiserations to RN and ENT. Well done, and E7 will be settling for the 4th place tonight. The update, an update of the table will look like that. Feast, 2nd place, 12,540 points, but cups. But RN, 30,012 cups. ENT in the 4th place with 12,054 cups. In E7, 11,168 cups. GV In the 7th position, 10,886 cups, but the difference between the 7th and the 8th place is more than 1,000 cups. But don't let that fool you, because if any of the clans in the top 7 did not qualify for the first Q tournament, the clans below, particularly PGMT, the ID, and ECG, might be able to bridge the gap by quite a lot. So don't let that fool you. GEV is not safe at all in the top 8, not E7 as well. But we can safely say this top 4 have managed to pull out a really large difference, and I believe this winter season is not this spring season is not as competitive in for the top 8 as in winter season. But I think that in general the level of gameplay has improved. So that's always a good thing to see. So once again, we have someone in the chat. I don't know, but anyhow. Thank you all for watching the stream tonight. I hope you enjoyed my commentary, and I will be seeing you all on the EU server. We first follow Reti versus Vale in the round of 32, and if we follow the bracket through, on the way we will be meeting APA and potentially EG endgame in the round of 8 or the quarterfinals. So see you later then. I go have lunch. Goodbye all. Bye for now.